Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're going to be doing the weekly analysis as we normally do. This is going to be for May 19 through the 25th. So yeah, we got a lot going on this week. And for any of you that are wondering what's going on with Rocket 21 right now, my answer is I don't know. I know that they had planned maintenance for this weekend. I'm not sure if that's the reason why their website is down. Or maybe it's something worse, but I'm not too sure. I'm sure we'll hear some details soon. But as of right now, everybody's kind of in the dark. We don't know what's going on, which is kind of a little worrying for me since I do have a funded account with them. But we'll see what happens in the next couple of days. Hopefully we'll hear some news. And yeah, but anyways, that doesn't stop our trading. We're still going to do our analysis and we're still going to trade. So yeah, let's jump into the charts and see what we got. So this week I have 3 different pairs on my list, and let's take a look. First one is Euro GBP. So it is a little gross on the weekly, I won't lie. You know, it's back and forth every single week. But on the daily, it is a little bit more cleaner. We can see that there was some consolidation throughout these couple weeks, which is why the weekly kind of looks a little ugly right now. If you want to see why I think this pair is still bullish on the daily, I recommend you go see my YouTube video that I posted, I think 2 weeks ago. This pair was also on my list, and I believe it was here. So it might have been the May 5th video. So go check that out if you want to see why I labeled this one as bullish on the daily. But basically we have daily being bullish. We have 4 hour. It is bearish right now, and I would like to see the 4 hour shift into bullish structure. But the thing is, I don't want to miss out on too many pips, and the reason why I'm saying that is because on the daily we do have this very big push upwards, and it is starting to somewhat respect this fib level of 0.618. So I have lately been seeing so many of my pairs lining up really well with the 0.618 level or the 0.382 level. Whenever there's a big push, it comes down into this golden zone onto this like bottom line, and I've seen it respected so many times. So lately I've been very useful with the Fibonacci tool. Like almost every single one of my trades, I always am looking for a Fibonacci rejection at one of these levels. So since the daily is there, it may start to bounce back upwards from that point. And I would like to see a 1 hour shift of structure. So since this is somewhat at an area of interest, people might say, well, the point that it needs to break structure should be this point, right? It should be above this kind of elbow. But in my opinion, I think these count as elbows on the lower time frame, at least, since it is literally at the area of interest we're looking at. I don't know why I don't think I need this anymore, but yeah, so basically I'll be waiting for a 1 hour shift of structure, kind of breaking the New York high, right? The New York session high would also be nice. Breaking these highs, coming back, it'll retest our 1 hour EMA likely at that point. Hopefully, again, we could line up another fib level. Let's just say something like this, right? Say it comes up to here, bounces off, makes this new high up here, comes back, we'll retrace back down to the 0.618 or 0.5 level, which will line up really good with our market structure and bouncing off our area of interest, also lining up with our 1 hour EMA. So that's what I'll be kind of looking for Euro GBP. So yeah, like I said before, we have weekly being somewhat bullish from, it's kind of hard to see, but this candlestick right here, this big blue candlestick. Oops. And then, even though it's a little choppy, right? But that's what I would say is the indication that we're still bullish on the weekly, daily. My reasons for why it is bullish is in the YouTube video from 2 weeks ago. It basically has to do with respecting this low, but yeah, we have another very strong push up coming back. We're retesting our area of interest. There's lots of highs here, lots of rejection, our daily EMA as well. So we'll see what happens in the next day or two. And then if not, if we do miss our entry, maybe somewhat around here, what I can do is look for extra confirmation on the 4-hour shift of structure, right? So what we can see eventually is a shift of structure like this, right? We break up really, really high. We come back. We're retesting another upper area of interest. And perhaps this will start to retest our 4-hour EMA, also respecting market structure. And then we could place a trade something like this, right? Obviously, just have our stop loss below the 4-hour higher low that it makes. But yeah, that's another trade opportunity that we may see if we do miss this lower entry, or if you just don't feel too comfortable and want to wait a little bit longer. So that's what I'll be looking for in Euro GBP. So for now, I'm just going to set this up kind of what I'll be waiting for. But I don't want to, again, don't force it. If it starts to look like it is going to do it, don't jump into it immediately. Just wait an extra hour or two, see what it's going to do. Don't be too ballsy with the trades. Next up is GBP CAD. On weekly, we could see we did have a pretty small head and shoulders, but still a head and shoulders. We're creating higher highs, higher lows. We had this very higher high push, came back, create a higher low. We're pushing up, creating new higher highs. We would like to see a weekly wick being made down to this area of interest, which is more notable on the daily time frame. And then, like I was saying before, right, we have another fib level that I'm sure it will respect. It'll respect this upper area along with our area of interest, along with these highs. Since we're above the area of interest, we look for buys. If we're below the area of interest, we look for sells. But weekly is bullish, daily is bullish. Look how clean this head of shoulders is on the daily, by the way, right? Very, very noticeable. And then what we're simply looking for is just the retracement back, retesting market structure, retesting the neckline of the head and shoulders, our area of interest, and these fib levels. And that's pretty much it, right? You just set and forget at that point. You place your entry on a lower time frame shift of structure, and then we'll put our stop loss maybe around here-ish. Not too sure exactly. We'll see where the lower high is made. But in my best interest, I would like to place it below this low point right here, just as a little extra safety, or maybe exactly there. But it also depends. This could be a 3-to-1 trade, or it could be a 1.5-to-1 trade. So you'll have to see how it goes, and where the entry may be. But I would like to see the weekly make a lower wick at this point before looking for any entries. And yeah, just super, super clean, just making a higher high, higher low, higher high, make a higher low, get in at the higher low, and wait for it to make another higher high. So that's what I'll be looking for GBP CAD. NZD CAD, very similar. As you guys remember from last week, or in the many, many weeks that I'm posting videos, I've told you guys that looking for pairs that match up are a really good indication and another confluence to taking a position that is higher confidence. So we had our CAD that is looking to go bullish for GBP CAD. Now we have NZD CAD that we're also looking to go bullish, right? We could see that our weekly has shifted bullish, breaking above this higher high. If you want to count this as the higher high, then sure, maybe you could say it's bearish. But for me, on the bigger time frames, I don't mind calling this the higher high. I'll call this bullish. Daily, we are bullish very clearly. And then we see that we need to, again, make a retracement back to our area of interest and also use previous market structure before going into a long position. So we have another push here. And I could bet you guys that this is going to retrace perfectly again at our 0.618 level. It might make another wick, it might make a wick, something like this, that it'll break through a little bit. It won't be to the exact dime, but I'm very, very confident that it will respect these levels. Look at this. Look how clean this double bottom is, first off, right? We also have this top here that it broke through. We're going to come back. We're going to retest our EMA. Was this the daily? The daily EMA is starting to come up here. And then we're going to retest this daily market structure. Somewhat rejects the neckline. The neckline is a little choppy because it's kind of like here-ish, or if you want to say the neckline is like here. But still, I think it'll be very likely that it rejects this area of interest simply from other, tops that it's made, and, here rejecting this area a lot as well. We also had a position, this was a few weeks ago, that, made us a good chunk, simply from rejecting this area as well, and also rejecting our daily EMA. On the 4-hour, it will end up turning bearish, but that doesn't mean too much to me, since we do have the weekly and daily lined up in sync. So as long as this comes back and retraces, and then we see a lower time shift of structure in the 1 hour or 30 minutes, that looks clean, then we will look for our position. But until then, we still probably have, hopefully, this may take even till next week to load up, honestly, because the best trades for me when I'm looking for a buy position is that when it's coming in on the retracement, it is very slow on the retracement, right? We want to see resistance from buyers on the retracement, getting ready to bounce it up super quick, right? So let's see if I can find an example here, like somewhat, let's see, something like this, right? So we could see here that we have a huge push up, we're retracing back slowly. It takes 6 days to retrace back for this pair, and then it completely explodes. Like, that's the trade that we want to get. Of course, this was likely a news trade that exploded on this day, but we still want to see something similar, or at least something similar to this, where we wait, 1, 2, 3, 4 days, and we can, profit off of something like that. We would much rather see a huge explosion in the direction that we're going to place our trade in, rather than on the retracement. If it does end up making a huge candlestick like this, then I might be a little cautious before entering, because the last thing you want is for momentum to start to shift, into these sell positions, and then you get wicked out, or you end up just completely being wrong. So that's why I would love to see, slowly trickle down, maybe 3-4 days, maybe Wednesday or something like that. We could enter our trade and then just shoot straight up from there. So that's it for NZD CAD. And then on GBP AUD, we have a sell position that we can potentially make. The reason why I have this as my last pair is because I'm a lot more confident on the GBP CAD and NZD CAD. I like those being bullish a lot more. So yeah, we have our weekly is bullish technically. Our weekly is bullish technically, but our daily is bearish. Our 4-hour might turn bullish. It will turn bullish if it does retrace back to this point, and then we would have to see a 4-hour shift of structure before looking for a sell position. So yeah, it was a very good strong push down, and we're below a lot of lows here and this area of interest. So that's why I kind of have this on my list. Now looking at it a little bit more, it seems like I might not take this trade, honestly, if it isn't like the most perfect setup that I've ever seen before, simply because I much rather wait for a better trade on GBP CAD or NZD CAD than trying to force a trade on a pair that might look okay, if that kind of makes sense. You need to be very patient with your trades. But yeah, we have a huge push down again, and then we're going to come back up, hopefully right around fib levels from this push down, right around the 0.5 again, or 0.38. So yeah, we'll see. We have the daily EMA also coming closer to our area of interest, and hope that it all kind of lines up before we see if we're going to place a trade or not. So yeah, we'll kind of let these play out for a little bit. I have my alarm set, right? I have my alarm set for this one. I have my alarm set for this one as well. And I don't have an alarm set on this one. I'll just keep my eye on this one, every 5-6 hours, whatever it may be. And we'll just see what happens from there. But yeah, I definitely don't want to rush Euro GBP, mainly because, it is Sunday still, and you don't want to place a trade right as soon as the market opens on a new week, I like to give it at least a day. I like to give Monday a chance for it to breathe, a chance for it to make supply and demand zones, area of interest zones, stuff like that, before we start to look for positions. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. Go ahead and follow my Instagram in my link below. I'm up to date and I post on what is happening with my trade specifically on my story, usually every day or every other day. So if you want to be more up to date with that, go ahead and follow that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. Hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you next week. Peace.